Live. And we're live! We are on the air. We are on, well, not on, well, we're on the air, but not in the air. Possibly we're in the air. But welcome to Browsing, a weekly web talk show thingamabobber where I and a guest share our week in browsing, links we like to talk about, things we care about, things we don't care about, whatever. Our lovely guest this week is the one and the only Claire Ledoyen.
My name's Claire Ledoyen.
What?
My name's Claire Ledoyen.
Claire Ledoyen. Her name is Claire Ledoyen. She is a writer, performer, artist.
It's so weird to be described as a performer now. Like, I forget that I could do that, and I forget that that's like quite a natural part of me, and I just block it out of my mind completely. And then I'm like, oh wait, like I really need to do this, like, to be happy. I think that's probably why I feel so fucking miserable, is because I forgot this big part of myself of being a performer.
Hey, accept every adjective that comes to you in everything you do. I say, I'm realizing that. Accept your adjectives.
Accept your adjectives.
Even the ones that are bad, work through those adjectives.
What?
But why do you think, when you think about yourself as a performer, are you thinking of yourself as a poet performing, or as I know you more on the stage and theater performing?
I was gonna say it's interesting, but it's really not that interesting. I guess when I was in high school, I went to a performing arts high school in Virginia, and I would go to public high school for half the day, and then get on the bus and go to the arts school, and I was in the theater program, so I have this 4 years of actor training just in my back pocket. That is it's weird because I learned by the time that I graduated high school that I was a writer and not an actor. But I remember I guess freshman and sophomore year of high school, I was I want to be a slam poet, and do this kind of performance poetry. But I would definitely say now, well, I mean, Jennifer Miller does the performance studies at Pratt, and her the training that I had in high school was based around more Stanislavski techniques, so more intellectual methods of acting, and Jennifer is so physically oriented, and it and it kind of turns out that that's what comes more naturally to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, I love theater. I guess in a broad sense, being a performer, I did a reading at Zinc Bar with my friends Sarah and Sarah Appel and Francesca Demuse last week, and I mean, I don't know, there's sometimes in academia there's this talk of performativity,
Mm-hmm.
and my reading was very I mean, I don't fucking know, it was performative and a performance, so it's just kind of this thing of and it's hard for me, it's for lack of a better phrase, it's hard for me to comprehend people that have very bad stage fright. It's I mean, it's because I'm just objectively, I don't know, I feel great, and I like to be, and I'm fine with getting up in front of people and and putting on a show, and I try not to I mean, I serve looks, I mean, gender performance and whatnot, and I dress to yeah, but I try to separate I don't know, and kind of on the underbelly of all this, performance studies is super interesting to me. And so just this idea of human performance, like in everyday life. It's funny. There's this fucking book, The Presentation of Self in Everyday Life by Irving Goffman. That's on my bookshelf.
Oh.
So that's like totally echoing that.
Speaking of.
Yeah. But it's, and I don't know, the concept of just, I don't know, just taking out the like more theatrical concept of performance, like and making a barrier between like this is me putting on a show as like kind of like an actor slash performer, versus like I am a person who is very interested in how things perform in the world. Like, because I think, I'm very like new to performance studies, but like in my very very slight grasping of it, I I think that like some people kind of they don't understand the so wide scope of what it can entail, just the fact of how things perform and how things perform, like, you know, like the affect they give off, like it's, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely like there is definitely doing performance studies. I think coming from a theater background, from performing arts theater background, is like some people will get like distance and they're like, oh, that's not performative, or that's not like real performance. That's just like some kind of joke, or it's supposed to be a skit or whatever. But then when you enter performance studies, you are taught to look at the world as a larger performance itself. And
Yeah,
that the
totally.
rituals that we perform, the daily things we do in real life, are performative. I think a
Yeah.
great example is I was at Franklin Furnace is having the retrospective right now in New York, and so I went to Baby Icky's 40th birthday party, which
I'm
was on
gonna fucking adjust my
Thursday.
bandwidth. Okay. I'm sorry, you were at the Franklin Furnace thing?
Yeah, so Baby Icky, which is by Michael Smith. Let me make sure I'm right about that. Hold on a second.
I know,
I
I
have
was
the
just thinking
pamphlet
I
in
should
front
get
of me.
my fucking like notebook out, and like a pen or a pencil or
Michael
something.
Smith. Yes, that's the correct name I was looking for. Michael Smith. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, and he performs as this basically a child, a baby's birthday party where he just goos and gaws and opens presents, and it just shows like the great performance that is like a baby's birthday party. And watching
Right.
this child perform for you, basically opening these gifts and them having their own mind, and kind of like the walk of a baby as a dance in a way, kind of.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it was funny and like lighthearted, and it's not like I think that's what people like sometimes don't get is like you can have these bigger performative questions, but they can also still be lighthearted and funny, but still introspective.
I mean, yeah,
I
I
feel
feel
like too
like
many
that's
people think
something.
it's too serious, or like they see serious work and then like they don't think that it could be funny or that it's okay to laugh.
Yeah, yeah, that's something I've actually been kind of latching onto this so far this semester, like because and it's I mean and like I'm saying this keeping in mind totally that this is like just my perspective and like how I personally feel and
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, how I do like the things that I do, um but like I'm I don't know, like I'm such like a like, you know, I just really love like theory and I love like ideas,
Mm-hmm.
and like I love like, you know, making relationships,
Definitely.
but
Same.
at the same time like I want to rail. I don't know where this comes from, if it's like actually like a more serious thing or if it's more like of a childish like you like fuck you, but like, you know, like I want to just, I don't know, like rail against academia and like the proper way of speaking and talking about things and just be like, um I'm like devastatingly intelligent but also like you know, like, I don't know, like kind of flippant, I guess.
I love that term, devastatingly intelligent. I love. I'm gonna use that now. Ooh, devastating intelligent.
That's what my parents paid so much money to go to college for. So I'm like really good at puns, and like we'll probably write greeting cards.
Hey, I would get a greeting card that said I was devastatingly intelligent. I would totally do that.
What?
I would get a greeting card that said, like, you are devastatingly intelligent. That would be the best greeting card someone could give me. I'd be like, you could bed me right now. You could bed me right now if you gave me that.
Making a note of that.
Send Anthony a greeting card that says he's devastatingly intelligent.
Hey, Anthony,
I will send back a box of my panties.
A full box.
Full box.
Do you fold in the crease?
I'm a roller. I roll them like I'm like as though I'm going on a camping trip. Because I think it conserves space.
I think that
because I have too much.
If I can give you guys a really practical tip right now, when you're packing, roll your clothes up. Roll them. Don't fold them. Roll them. And your pack will be lighter and you'll have more room.
Unless you need like stuff not wrinkled, because you will wrinkle your clothes.
Look at me.
Well, I mean, if we're giving a general tip, we should just warn that your clothes might become wrinkled. So I guess you could maybe put tissue paper in them. I guess maybe you put tissue paper and then you rolled it, it wouldn't get so wrinkled.
Oh, no.
My years of sales merchandise.
People who will care about it being wrinkled will immediately hear that and be like, this bitch is going to get my clothes wrinkled. Like...
Or just bring a portable steamer. There you go. Problem solved.
Yeah, totally. On the camping trip.
You're welcome, Internet.
Claire and Anthony go camping.
I mean, it's not a background option yet, but we could possibly go camping at some time.
We probably will. Now that we've set it into reality, we probably will.
I mean, we can get some crickets going in here. There we go.
I told him this was gonna be bad, Internet.
Here we go. Now I'm in the Alaskan Alps somewhere. I'm somewhere in some mountainous area, camping with Claire Ledoyen. Now, a beach. Well, that's dreaming at this point. Okay, no more.
I mean, I don't know. I have a beer like when I camp. That's really the most of what I want.
I love a good old campfire. And some marshmallows.
What?
I love a good old campfire and some marshmallows.
S'mores.
S'mores. Okay.
S'mores are so good.
And I guess I should finish up the rest of the introduction. And you are a member of the Bookwook Feminist Press Collective.
15-minute tangent.
What? We had a tangent. That's what the Internet's about. The Internet is a tangent. Is a long-standing tangent.
Oh.
Let's be honest. The Internet is just a tangent of our lives. We have an idea, we go search for something, and we end up somewhere else, and we're like, what the fuck?
Yo, shout out to my friend Ida Stein, who keeps up, like, at least 15 tabs at one time on her window.
Hey. Shout out to you and your processor for keeping 15 tabs open, because I know my browser's crash after 10.
No, I mean my shit's about to crash right now.
Don't crash on us, please. Not while we're live, or while we're live. It could be interesting.
Okay, wait.
Roll back. Yeah.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. You are a member of the Bookwook Feminist Press Collective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I just had someone ask me today, what is Bookwook? And
yes, please tell us.
um, basically, um, it's a group of there's like a core group of like 10 women um, who and who kind of make decisions on like where things are going and like what we want to publish and like call the shots and stuff. So we're a press collective. Like we publish our work and also like work we deem book wook. Sometimes we'll just be like, oh, that's very book wook. You should send that to us.
So book wook.
So book wook. Hell yeah. And so a lot of it, I guess, content-wise, it's like political leaning stuff. We're super interested in how these like very broad like overarching structures kind of like manifest themselves in our personal lives and like in daily lives, and hopefully like shed light on like I don't know, just like I think it's so important not to get lost in the idea that like we live in an oppressive like society. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that internet. Like
okay.
we're going there.
Of course, internet. Look up.
We're going
the
there.
Book Press
Yeah.
Collective. We have it linked in our showcase app. Oh yes, to our 2 viewers right now. If you look to the left side of your screen, there are a thing of apps over there, and you can open up this thing that looks like a bunch of like yellow price tags. And it's called Showcase, and that is where we'll be like showing all like our links for the night. So you can click them and see what we're talking about. And there's a Q&A right under it, so if you feel like asking us questions, feel free to ask us questions, and we'll answer them. Well, if we want to, we'll answer them later.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, so feel free to ask us questions.
Sick.
Yeah,
okay,
so we already have a link up to the BookWook Facebook page, and there are some videos now on the BookWook YouTube page, it seems, for some selections of what will be available on BookWook, from BookWook.
Yeah, so another thing, I don't know, just another really important thing to us is like the process of distribution, first the process of production and the process of distribution, and like we're like almost like belligerently stringent about the labor of making, especially our books, all the only women, no boys allowed, and at the same time as far as distribution, like making stuff as free or cheap as we can, and figure out Sarah is super environmentally minded, and she's just very brave about like vocalizing and enacting just the fact that like we need to conserve, like just use fucking less paper, like stuff like that. Like she made like her chapbook is like, I don't even know. It's long. It's longish. It's like a nice chunk of work, and they're really tiny. They fit in like your jeans pocket, and they're like 4 pages.
Oh, that's nice.
4 pieces of paper, if that maybe. We just let me not advertise right now. It's funny. Let me not advertise my free things. I guess that's pretty book work. I don't know. So yeah, that's like the 2 main parts of it is like this like kind of like conceptual like content like work that we want to distribute, and then also just the like logistics of just making the shit and making it available.
So both active, both like politically and kind of consciously minded in both the content that's made and its production and distribution.
Yeah, totally. Because I mean, I feel like it's theory and practice, you know, intersecting at a lot of different points in that. Because like if you make a bunch of work about like how much like global capitalism blows, and then you like, you know, print a 24-page book, not double-sided, and like sell it for $5 or like $10, then like, what are you doing? Yeah, so like, and it's like a challenge. It's a challenge. Like it's like kind of just like this, the like production and distribution, like more logistical part is something that like we're like really challenging ourselves to think about a lot more, and at it and just like figure out like ways to kind of like enter into this mode of thinking.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, let it out. Let it out.
Anyway.
Okay. And then we have our dumb question that I always ask every guest as our like stupid annual, not annual, but whatever question. It's a marry, fuck, kill situation of Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
All right, wait. I gotta like do the math on this one.
Yes. Yes.
What is it? Twitter, Facebook,
and Instagram.
Instagram. Okay.
If you had to marry, fuck, kill.
Oh my God! Murder the fuck out of Facebook and destroy all of its history. Marry Twitter and fuck Instagram, no doubt. Easy.
Okay, nice. Like that answer. Wonderful.
What? Wonderful. All right.
Yeah, well, those are good answers. I agree. Fuck, like, kill Facebook. Well, actually, well, I always say I marry Facebook because it's like my main platform, but I'm all down with deleting the history of Facebook.
Well, I just went and saw Citizen 4
Okay.
last weekend, and that shit was like, oh my God, like, the government knows everything I'm doing and will will make any resistance impossible. Like,
well, with this show, we're contributing to the NSA's ability to find us and track us. They know what our faces look like. They know what our voices sound like.
Like,
and they know you make chapel.
My fucking credit card number. I'm sure you already have it. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I doxed myself like a few weeks ago by accident.
What?
I like doxed myself for like a few seconds a few weeks ago on one of these episodes because I was showing like an old picture of myself as like a teenager from an ID, and I didn't realize that my old home address was on it. But I mean, it's also like things that like if you really cared, you would like easily find on the internet. I'm sure.
Yeah, no, totally. That shit is terrifying.
But it's also like that's weird that I've also given up. Like, oh, I don't deserve privacy anymore. It's not.
Wait, let me just like have a moment of silence.
We can have as many moments for as many things as you like.
Jesus, save us.
Please, Jesus. Let me see, can I get us a Jesus right? Boop. There we go, a little halo. Put on a beard.
Nice.
Now I am Jesus. I am here to save you, Claire.
Yeah, no, just also another camping tip for everybody on the internet. Jesus was not white.
There we go. The truth comes out. Only on browsing. Only on this show can we give you the truth. Oh, you can't do. No. I was hoping you could maybe do 2 facial hairs at once, but obviously that's not the case.
I want.
My dreams are crushed.
facial.
I
I think I would look. I mean, like Jin just rocks it just so fucking hard. I think I could do it. I kind of.
I always think the best facial hair is like the best facial hair job I've ever seen
Wait,
done.
what is
was
this?
my friend Mickey. She like had this done. Oh, he. I mean he for Mickey. Mickey. Which they go by image object on Facebook, which is still the best name on Facebook for anyone. Oh, here it is. I'm just gonna share this. I hope Mickey doesn't mind. But it's like the best thing ever. Where is this image? Here, I'm putting it on the shared items list. It's like so good. Like the beard is so good. Our mutual friend Ari is a makeup artist and did it, and it's just so good. So if you look into the shared item showcase thing, you can see a picture of the darling Mickey, full beard, amazingness.
This Google thing is so cool.
I love it. I mean, I just like bumped into it and decided to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
They
kind
keep
of
adding
that's
things.
kind of how BookWalk happened, actually.
I mean, you could do like a live reading of like BookWalk and have like multiple people on at the same time and like.
Done.
I suggested it to my friend Miguel, who was on here, because he always does meetings with his like manager via Skype and stuff, and I was like, you should just do it via Hangouts, because you could have so much more fun. You could like draw on each other's faces, release tension.
Yeah, we totally should. Yeah,
I was
that
never a
would
Skype
be-
person, so I was like, I'll just do this.
Right, yeah, no, I mean, I don't know, I have it, just, I've, like, never really used it. Like, any person I used it with, I probably used it with, like, once. And it was probably, like, 3 to 4 people. But that was, like, the extent of my, like webcam usage, so.
Any cam for camming out there?
What?
You're on Cam 4, Claire? Trying to make some extra money on Cam 4? Like all of us? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You're a cam
Yeah.
girl. So let's hop in to our links tonight if you want. Do you want to go first, or should I go first, or?
Maybe you should go first.
Okay. I'll jump in first. So my first link of the night is I've been listening to, it's kind of continuation of last week's theme a little bit, with me and Dan Fishback ended last show with just like kind of amplifying trans women of color voices and about the murders.
Wait, I'm sorry, you went out. What was it? You and your friend did what?
We ended last week's episode amplifying the murders and just voices of trans women of color. We were amplifying articles about that. So this week I've been listening to a show called The Kitty Bella Show, which is a show by Christina Goodlett, who I believe is one of the founders of the Trans Women of Color Collective of Greater New York. And it's just a great podcast. It's her and usually another trans woman of color on, and just talking about their lives from the mundane to the serious. And she's had a lot of great guests on, and I think in the wake, but my other link tonight is going to be about net neutrality, and I feel like in the wake of that and this kind of supposed solidification of the openness of the internet, I think this is one of the great things that is possible because of the internet, is like giving voices to minorities who don't normally have a voice and can create their own media for themselves.
Word, yeah. I think that's so key is creating your own media.
Yeah,
word.
so I want to shout out to the Kitty Bella show, and I love that her overusage, well, not overusage, but just great usage of, like, she has this explosion effect that she just, like, uses it. There's just, like, a giant bomb blowing up whenever she just wants to, like, just drop a bomb. And it's just a really, it's like, you know, I feel in a little bit of a way, it's, like, a little bit similar to browsing in a way where it's fun and upbeat, but can also, you know, talk about serious issues or, you know, be honest with each other about each other's lives, and it can.
I mean, it's like I mean, isn't that like really like the truest definition of like a friendly conversation? You know, like with a good friend.
It's a conversation. That's what I feel like. Both shows are a conversation.
Yeah.
So that's my link. That's my first link of the night is to that. So either we can switch off to you, or I can do my second link. If you want to go next, you are more than.
I have something.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, ping pong. So yeah, you can go now.
All right, I'm gonna open a new window. Most of these actually might just might be pulled from my blog.
Sure.
I was telling Anthony that like I'm like a terrible browser and I just like use the internet for like Facebook and email and then like you know, reading, and I had to like make a blog from like one of my classes this semester. So the name of the blog is undercoveravantgarde.tumblr.com. No spaces or hyphens or anything. Undercoveravantgarde.tumblr.com. And
Avantgarde.tumblr.com.
So if anyone wants to like, you know, look along. Basically, the backstory is it's just getting longer and longer by the day. It just started with this research that I was doing just about where I'm from in Hampton Roads, Virginia, which is like southeastern Virginia, and like growing up in a military town. And like just the history of where I'm from. I mean, like, you know, like James, like Roanoke, like the lost colony of Roanoke, and then like of course Jamestown. Like this shit is kind of where it started. But let me stop talking about my fucking self and get to the point.
Is the internet not always talking about ourselves sometimes?
Let's see. I'm trying to find. Oh, I've gotten to the bottom without finding what I was looking for.
But I did post your blog showcase thing, so people can click along and see it.
Oh, great! Thank you. Yeah. So one of the articles that I ended up posting on my blog a few weeks ago, I guess, yeah, February 2nd, almost, yeah, a month ago. A woman, a transgender woman named Lamia Beard was murdered in Norfolk, Virginia. It's like these articles are saying, like, Lamia Beard may be the first transgender woman murdered in 2015, according to National Coalition of Anti-Violence Programs. And it was just like, along with like just this research and of violence and like thinking about the condition, like the current conditions, I just thought it was apt, and just this idea of like, God, what a fucking way to ring in the new year, of like, like the new year of I don't know, like just like, I don't know, just the phrase of like she may have been, or like she was the first like transgender woman murdered in 2015. It's like, holy shit, we already have to be keeping count, and there's been like how many more since, and like not, you know, before, obviously. I don't know, the article I posted just was talking about how the media was refusing to call her Lamia Beard and to call her her, and and she was shot.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe she was included in an unfortunate list that we posted last week. Was Lamia Beard was in there. But we'll post directly to the article
okay, well,
you
lovely.
had.
I mean, not lovely, but like.
It's important to just keep bringing this up and like reminding people that this is something that's happening in our communities and around our communities, and as allies to those communities. You know, if you're not bringing it up, you're not talking about, if you're not thinking about it, I feel you're doing a disservice to your community.
Yeah, and it's just
not
like
a worry of yours, or don't think it's your problem. I think that's a problem.
it's so selfish. It's so selfish.
I never like to go. I think Dan made a good point. Was not to go too deep into something that's necessarily not our narratives or experiences, but just to amplify. And I think this is a good way to amplify. You know, your blog is a good way to amplify kind of news to people who may not normally come across this news or care about this news.
Word, and you know,
those lives.
Yeah, and like, thank you. Also. And yeah, I mean, isn't it this, maybe, I mean, I was going to say, like, isn't it, but I just made this correlation now, like, maybe it's this idea of, like, creating your own media, like, media, images, music, text, books, you know.
Yeah, and that's why I thought it was great to point out the Kitty Bella show tonight, because I think she's creating something that's her own voice, and she has a great line, I think, at the top, is that, like, you know, transgender women or people are more than their genitalia, and like that's kind of like the show is supposed to go beyond that, and it doesn't have to be also a show as like, because the last things we brought up, of course, in the last few weeks have been about the murder of these transgender women, but obviously transgender women are more than the violence that happens to them. They are people, they are makers. You know, she's had on Laverne Cox and other people who, you know, are icons in the community, and who are creating work and are creating their own media. You know, but there's, you know, there's high moments and there's low moments, and you need both of them, I think, to balance out. And I think this is what you get when you give, or when people of who are minorities are able to create their own media themselves. Not given, because I don't like that word given, because I don't feel like there's a giving. There's a them creating, them having the agency to do it themselves.
And it almost like a taking back, right? If you want to get, like, you know, like chest beating about it, you know, like a rallying cry about it, like a take it back, like take back this time and this space, all kinds of different kinds of spaces, mental space, physical space, like heart space, you know, head space. Actually, okay, I have like a Bookwook and our lovely BFFs in the Sweet Jungle Collective just hot off the letterpress, the first issue of the Bookwook book block. And this first issue, we've titled it "Critical Reactions to Racist Policing." It's 6 essays written like in reaction to like the Black Lives Matter protests. It was kind of like these things started popping off, and out of the organization that we did, we thought like it would be a really good idea to do a research group, and then kind of like as a goal, as a solidifying goal for the group, but more importantly as like a goal of like education within the context of this activism and like this direct action. We we decided like we would do an issue like every like month or 2 months or something. And I would like really like to read this, like it's the shortest essay that we have in it. It's actually like a Facebook status one of my friends posted this past week. I don't know, I would just love to read it.
Sure, yes, please.
Okay, so this is by my friend Jafar Cooper, who goes to VCU in Richmond. I know him from the Governor's School, which is like my arts high school. He graduated the year after me.
Okay.
So this is called "I Fuck with Patricia Hill." Through my reading so far of Patricia Hill Collins's Black Feminist Thought, it has become apparent to me that Black people who lie on one or more intersections of marginalized identities face oppressions that traverse one another. For example, Black women's feminist and womanist thought, theories, research, experiments, and more were excluded in the academic canon until just recently. This is a form of marginalization that erases the experiences of Black women and can posture their unique gendered experience. Such hierarchy and delegitimization of work based on skin color completely skimmed the surface of issues faced by Black socioeconomic. After refocusing my attention around the modern movements against police brutality, primarily on Black people, crimes, the violent acts, and less concise forms of oppression that our Black women face, that our Black non-binary, trans, and queer people with disabilities, Black people with mental illness face, that our Black people with different body types deemed not or less desirable. Wait, okay, sorry.
We might be losing you.
I just read like a few percentage. Sorry?
We might be losing you. You're breaking up a lot. Wait, let's see.
Oh no! I may be reading too fast. What about now? Oh.
You seem a little bit better right now. Okay, I think you can go again.
Okay. I just fucking adjusted the bandwidth again. Alright. I'm just gonna read just a few more sentences sake of this fucking medium.
Could they find this anywhere online or just in the book? Can they find this essay elsewhere online or just in the book?
Only in the book right now. However, the books are free. Well, okay. I guess most importantly, like we're in the we'll get them on some kind of like online format, as like maybe as a file to pass around or like on a website or something.
Okay.
But
right now they can probably get it through the book.
Yeah.
Book they can find it.
Yeah, if we'll be posting the links, and we're gonna be distributing them in like spaces around the city this week. So like the Alley Forney, possibly like the Manhattan Center, of the Alley Forney Center, like the Audre Lorde Project, Blue Stockings, the Base, all kinds of stuff.
Great.
And
so, yeah,
you know,
if
also
you're in the
just like
area, you can find the hard copies of
us.
this essay. So in case you do want to read more of this, and it got broken up for you, you can find it around, and eventually it will also be online. So, but if you want to continue a little more of the reading, and then they can find the rest in the book or online at some point.
Just for the sake of whatnot, like let's just continue. But like, cause I felt kind of weird about reading that, like just because it's like I don't know. But
yeah, we can continue on. That's fine.
Yeah. I just like that just reminded me of this thing. And like we just like this morning is like the first day of distribution. Like the first person that like got a copy was like the security guard that let me into my dorm at like 4 this morning. So it's like super brand new and like we're super excited about it.
Yeah.
It's free. It's gorgeous. I'm just so proud of it and like can't wait to start on the next issue. 2 of the essays are translated into Spanish. Like just because of like the sake of time, we like it didn't work out that the others got translated. But like we like I don't know. I feel so I don't know. I think it's like it's important to have just to start thinking about translations and like not only in English.
Oh yeah, definitely. I noticed that in some of your work, you kind of go back and forth between different for different lines. You would change language for different ones, which is integral, I think, to an interconnected world.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
That was we had your link up, so I'll bounce to mine. Um, so mine was, of course, again following this theme of open media. Of course, this week was the passage of net neutrality by the FCC using Title II,
You
which
want
is
to talk about
boring.
that? I don't like. I don't. It classified the net as a utility. I don't know what that means. Like I don't know what that terminology really contextually.
Basically, I mean, Title II was created to break up like the Ma Bells of the telephone companies and to kind of force a
Oh wait, you're breaking up. Damn it.
uh, to force like a regulatory scheme of not locking in customers and not rigging prices. So there's lots of price regulation in it. Called and like if you ever notice on your phone bill, there's like a tax for like universal connectivity or something. Like that's kind of what Title II can instill, because they use that tax money to supposedly provide, disparate communities access to phones and whatever else.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
But supposedly, like something like that rate tax, which would be a tax on the internet, is being what they call forbeared, which means it would not be applied to the internet. But that's my main issue with it, is like it's kind of like they wanted this one thing called net neutrality, and they can only do it under Title II, but Title II is a really big thing, and I think it's more of it's a giant mallet for something that could have been done with a hammer, almost. And I just worry because I'm upset that the commissioner didn't release, because basically what they approved was a modified version of Title II. But they didn't bother.
Oh, sorry. What they approved was what kind of version? What they released was what kind of version?
They supposedly updated and modernized Title II. But the problem is we didn't see what that modernization looks like because he didn't bother releasing what the bill was before the vote. So basically, the FCC voted on something, and the rest of the public didn't know exactly what they voted on.
Of course.
Of course. That's how politics work, right?
Of course. Of course. Of course. The horse, of course.
So that's my one upset about it. And then my other upset is just like, I didn't really realize this till now, but I was reading a live blog of it because I'm a nerd.
No, yeah, cool.
While it was happening. And the way the two bloggers were talking about it, it was so partisan because there's 3 Democratic seats on the commission and 2 Republican seats. Mm-hmm. And whenever the Republicans were talking like in their dissent, like it just felt like they were mocking them the entire time, like in this partisan way.
So frustrating.
Well, I guess like I just never realized, because I feel like usually tech news is kind of neutral because it's just always nerdy whatever, and it's not. And I mean, there's some policy-oriented stuff, but normally it's like, oh, new gadgets and blah blah blah. So you never think about it being partisan, but then every like tech news website I was reading was almost all of it was partisan. This left-leaning like, oh, here comes like the Republican with his opinion. And I just felt like, what the fuck? Like, they actually had really good, like, dissenting reasons to dissent.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. I forget where my fucking camera is. Okay.
I don't know, so that's just my general...
no, that's really interesting.
I would just say read the minutes of the actual commission.
Okay.
Because they're worth reading. I mean, it's a boring reading, but don't just take the press's word for what was said and how it was said.
What?
Right.
Yeah,
just don't take their word for it, because a lot of it was biased, I felt. And I'm all for the internet. I'm just like, there's no reason to bring partisan politics into the FCC. Anyways, that's it. That's my other link. Do you have another one for us to grace us with?
Let's see here. Do. I don't know. I guess like I don't know. Like just my blog is like really mainly like what I do on the internet besides like personal, like look at this funny video or like this happened today and it sucked, like kind of medium. And like that's definitely like where you can get a sense of like most of the stuff that I'm like interested in thinking about.
Mm-hmm. So that's undercoveravantgarde.tumblr.com, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So follow that if you want to get a taste.
Yeah, like and then like my essay in the book block was like a lineage of lynch law, and it was so interesting. Like, oh my god, well I don't know. I guess I could talk about like my last chapbook that came out. Would that count?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I wonder if I have a copy. I don't know. So I just wrote this manuscript last semester called No Scopes, and it's a book of poems, like interrogating, like on one level, like how activists, especially activists that like just are so like horrified at like the like just the terrible things that are associated with war. Like how do we deal with conflict in a way that isn't a war? Like how do we deal with conflict in a way that isn't a war against a huge system that like is just so like cantankerous and warlike and aggressive, and like just like terrifying and terrorizing. And then at like a second like more like structural level, it was kind of me interrogating like where I'm from, like having grown up in a military town, and like my granddaddy was like a SEAL. I fucking tell this to everybody. All my friends have heard me say this in this exact order, probably.
Well, you're making new friends tonight, so be sure to share it again.
So like my granddaddy was a SEAL, and like my dad works. My dad works at the shipyard, at one of the shipyards in Virginia, and he actually like he worked on submarines, which is interesting because my brother is in the Navy and he's a submariner. He's stationed in Hawaii, but he just did gosh, I guess like 3 years like being deployed like for the majority of months out of the year on a fucking submarine. And also my boyfriend paints submarines at the same shipyard that my dad works at, so it's like this weird like triangle of submarines. And so like it was like an interrogation of like military and like having military or having friends and family in the military, and seeing them come back from deployment, and like just how like traumatizing it is. And like you know, having my dad like build war machines for like longer than I've been born, and just like different stuff like that.
So the
I guess.
conflict, do you feel like there's a conflict of like your beliefs and kind of like the legacy your family has in a way, or like, or the way you're
No,
kind of,
honestly, I think that this is like really. I don't think there's a conflict at all. Like, I mean, it's a conflict. I mean, there is a conflict, but that isn't what it's about. It's, I guess, what it's more about than like the conflict of me, like, just against like these bigger systems at work, and having it conflict with the fact that where I'm from and like where I come from.
Mhm.
It's more of me explaining like you have to like when you can when you like I don't know, it sounds kind of bad. Like when you conceptualize people and like when you conceptualize like a person in the military, like you just have to think of like the class, like the intersecting class and like socioeconomic factors and like their family history and like their motivations. It's I don't yeah, it was more like a kind of like an opening up than like an attack, I guess. And you know what? I think that's a very good way of putting it. It was more of an opening up than an attack.
So the book, so the No Scopes is kind of opening up what it is like to be in like a kind of military family or come from that in a way, or but looking at it in a critical sense as well. But like
Yeah,
not having this painted portrait that there's this brouhaha behind it, or that the individuals even have a choice, or like there's no intersections of their class and where they come from and what's available to them to do as a job or stuff like that.
yeah, totally.
It's taking it from a black and white to like a gray area in a way.
Yeah, or like just like digging up and like flinging the different colors everywhere. Um, oh, and also no scopes. I don't have a copy around right now,
Is that
but
available through BookBook as well?
it's on our YouTube.
Okay.
Huh?
It's on your YouTube?
Yeah, it came out through BookBook. I did a webcam reading actually of the manuscript of the whole manuscript on YouTube.
Let me link to that directly so people can see
Cool.
it. Live browsing, live browsing. Let's see. Where does it start with? Like Party God intro?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll link to Party God intro.
That
And
should
then
just
the
so
rest
funny.
you should be able to find on the same channel.
Yeah, it should go in order. Like it's a whole playlist. Like it's a playlist of the No Scopes manuscript.
Okay, let me see. Let me see if there's a playlist, and I can link to that playlist. Yep, here we go. Here we go. Playlists. So I'll link to the playlist so you can hear the lovely Claire read her manuscript No Scopes, and you can pick it up through BookWook. So that's wonderful. I didn't watch those yet, so I'm gonna have to watch those. I watched Eric St. James's when you posted them a while back, and those were wonderful.
Fucking so dope.
Are those
Eric,
out published yet? Or
shout out to Eric St. James, goddamn Santiago St. James Lopez. Like,
yes.
I love that kid.
Are those out
and his
yet?
poems are fucking brilliant. He just was so killer and like brave and just fucking like fierce. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
So smart, like really good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Is his chapbook out yet? Does he have a book out? Are these published yet, or are they just on the?
I know he has the books, but we haven't gone like through a process of like producing copies.
Oh, okay.
like I know like he has a he has a chapbook of that manuscript, but
Okay.
we haven't gone through the process of doing multiple copies of it.
But it would eventually be out on BookWhoop too.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
we're gonna be at the Anarchist Book Fair on April 18th, and hopefully by then we'll have like, just like a bunch of stuff
Hmm.
to have on our table, including Eric's books, Sarah's chapbook, Raw Pussy Truth, Amber Jones's chapbook. It's funny, like we actually have quite a lot of work already. It's just, I guess, like the way that we've distributed it or not has like it hasn't seemed so cohesive, because a lot of it is via like files over the internet and like these like YouTube videos, and then also like part of BookWhoop was just so like we have something that like we have a space where we can share our work with each other and be like more able to talk about just talk about our work with each other. So like that's a big part of it. So like within all that, like we're also like seeing each other's stuff a lot. I almost feel like that's part of the like production and distribution, is just letting us and the collective share our work more openly and easily to each other, and like critique it and talk about it and that kind of stuff.
It gives you a support network, like a guaranteed support network to show your work.
Yeah, totally.
And that's important. I shared the Anarchist Book Fair 2015 to their main website, so be sure to go and check that out in general. I think it's March 2nd, it says, maybe?
No, I think there's like a meeting for it, like a general meeting about it. The actual book fair is Saturday, April 18th.
Oh, yes. April 17th through the 18th at Judson Memorial Church at Judson Church. Woo!
Yeah, and we'll be like I guess they do like half tables and full tables to like present your shit at, and me, BookWhoop and a group like the same people who helped put this out, the Sweet Jungle Collective, we're going like halvesies on a full table. So find the Sweet Jungle BookWhoop table, and check out Sweet Jungle and all the great.
They're called the Sweet Jungle Collective.
Sweet Jungle Collective. I'm pretty positive they're not like they're not like a Facebook page or anything, but if you search the hashtag on Facebook, Sweet Jungle, you would find maybe a few things. They're really great doing like direct actions and like trying to like get involved with the community around Brooklyn where we stay at, and helping us print these amazing books, 100 copies in 12 hours. Yeah, and it's funny to refer. It's funny to like
I'll
refer
link to the search on Facebook of the hashtag Sweet Jungle.
Okay, cool.
You can see that.
You're the best. You're so smart.
We're all about keeping it open here and keeping all the links and information as open and accessible as possible.
I was gonna say, like, it's funny to refer to them, like, to them as them, and like Sweet Jungle as Sweet Jungle, because it's really just like our friends, and like it's us hanging out, and like I was up till 4 in the morning, and like David's basement with a few of us, and they were like Sweet Jungle was making a banner. BookWhoop was making these books, but it was like one person would like stop penning and come fold with me, and then someone would like David would be sewing the books, and then like go to like help like format shit on the banner. Like it's funny to like refer to us as like entities, because it's just like us hanging out at the like basic level, I guess.
There's a very familial relationship between Sweet Jungle and BookWhoop, and it's really just so porous. Wonderful.
Yeah, well, and the funny thing, I guess like one thing to mention is like the thing I was saying about BookWhoop's like being really stringent about like only girls doing. Oh wait, hold on, I have to open the fucking door to my dorm.
Sure. Real life. Real life.
Hey, sorry, I'm just bringing this back. Anyway.
Anyway.
Well, I was gonna say, one of the like important things about BookWook is that like the labor of making our chapbooks is by women. All of the like ideas and leadership is of ladies. But the thing about BookBlock is like it's like so extensive that like we couldn't get it done if it was just us 10 girls trying to get it all made. Like 100 copies in 12 hours.
Woo.
Like, you know, just like with basic like with like at the Pratt letterpress, like, you know, like I don't know, it's like because I mean we've all all of us in BookWook have like handmade our books before. It's taken me 2 or 3 days to make 10 to 15 chapbooks. You know, and we did 112 hours, like 4 to 4 basically. So like this, you know, this couldn't have been done without them and without the help of all the dudes and people. So, you know, it's definitely this like collaborative effort that has come out of like a more general organizing. That BookWook is just like happy to like help like structure and produce. Yeah.
Wonderful. Hey, you gotta need help. You need help sometimes, and to get the voice out there of these women, you need help from other people who believe in them.
Word.
So that's what a community and support is about.
Yeah, and it was so lovely. Like, you know, we were in the fucking studio, like drinking beer and like listening to like Chance the Rapper and like singing along and just like doing this, you know, just chilling out. And I was like, man, what would I rather be doing, honestly? Like my work as a writer is all done. My work as like a facilitator of getting this issue organized into this stage of production is all done. I'm chilling, like, you know, folding fucking paper, like, with my friends. So like it's cool. Yeah. And then once it is kind of like funneled into this stage of manual production, our friends who are more geared towards that are like having a fucking ball, like on the letterpress machine, you know, like cutting shit, you know, whatnot. So everyone's happy.
Good.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Oh, so good to hear. I love little collectives making things.
It's really amazing, Anthony. Like, BookWook, I mean, I realized a few weeks ago, it's like one of the first things I've really set my mind about that, I have like a vision in my mind of like a positive vision of making it happen, and also like I can describe it. It's one of the, it might be the first thing completely that I can describe by telling what it is versus what it is not. And I think that's like very important.
It is.
And I'm just proud of us, and I'm like stoked to work more. It's sick. Like I'm so energized lately, and so happy to be doing all this stuff.
I need a collective. I need to find.
Dude, put something out under fucking BookWook. You have these episodes up on YouTube, right? After, or like.
Yeah, they're all on YouTube.
I mean, so I'll post this to the BookWook YouTube.
Oh, you don't have to, but thank you very much.
I would love to, can I? Like.
Yeah, you are more than welcome. These are public to the internet. Anyone is allowed to put these anywhere they want. These can be put on Pornhub if you want. They are free and open.
Free and open, baby. That's how I like it.
That's what I believe in. Even though I guess technically Google Hangouts is a closed platform. But hey. you want to wrap up for the evening? We've been
Yeah,
like an
I think
hour.
I was just like, oh my god, what if do you mind if we just do this like every week? Like, it's so lovely, it's so lovely. Like, thank you so much for having me on.
Oh yeah, of course. I am more grateful that you agreed to be on because this little pony show needs people. So I am grateful to
I
have
love
guests
it. I love
grace
it,
me with
dude.
their presence because I'm like, I don't think anyone is interested in this show most of the time. I'm like, really?
No, it's like, I mean,
Like
now they
shout out to
will.
Charlene, who like 2 weeks ago asked me if she could be on this show, which I guess preview. She will be on March 15th. Charlene shall be on this show. But I was like, really? You want to be on this show? You're asking me in IRL in real life whether you want to be on this show or not? I was like,
No, I
really?
love it. In like a few months, this shit will be like archive gold, and like motherfuckers will be scrambling to watch it. Like,
Oh, maybe, I don't know. But there'll be a season 3 probably because there'll be a season 3 of Looking on HBO because that's how this show works. Every time there's a new episode of Looking, there's a new episode of
sick.
Browsing.
Can't wait. I hope you have me on again.
Yes, I definitely want to have a revisit of guests. I don't know what I'm doing for the finale yet, so who knows? I don't know what I'm doing.
Don't plan the finale.
I feel like I need a big finale. Maybe that's having 2 guests on at once. Who knows? I know. We're going big. 2 people at once. 2 guests.
2 guests, 1 show.
It's big in this internet corner. Ooh. I wish I could do that. My eyebrows only function one way together. They're married to each other. I can do like a slight squint like raise, but I can't do an individual raise.
I don't know. My mom says it. Her mom, who passed when she was like 25. I never met her. She would like do this thing with her eyebrows. She would, and like when she was mad, like, you know, when a parent, like when a kid does something bad and like a parent knows that they have to discipline it, but like it's funny and like they really don't actually care.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like one of those things. And apparently my grandmother on my mom's side would like make this face and she would go like.
That's a good face.
And like do this thing with her tongue and her cheek, like.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it was like to keep her from laughing about whatever my fucking mom and my aunts and my aunt and my uncle were doing.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Anthony.
Thank you, Claire. You can find Claire on undercoveravantgarde.tumblr.com and the Bookwook Press Collective, Feminist Press Collective, which is on Facebook. She currently has her chapbook out, No Scopes. And you can find Bookwook at the Anarchist Book Fair in April. And their YouTube channel, so if you want to listen to anything and you don't have access to the books yet or are not in the New York City area, you can view their YouTube channel with readings by the actual authors of those pieces.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, and have a wonderful night, and keep on browsing, and keep on being wonderful. Mwah. Mwah.
I love you. I love you so
too.
much.
Let's talk soon. Bye.
Good night.